I'm Michelle from Legal Suite, and this is part one of using the document log from the Matter, dragging and dropping documents from outside of Legal Suite onto your Matter. Now, I am, for the purposes of this webinar, using a Matter that I have already set up with parties from the address book, so please do have a look at our webinar if you need some help with that. Okay, so standing on the Matter, I will click on my document log icon. Alternatively, you can press the F6 key on your keyboard. And this will take me into the document log where everything that is generated on this Matter in Legal Suite is stored. Now, if you have a look at our webinars on the parties to the Matter screen, sending emails, faxes, SMSs, and letters, these are the documents that have been generated from within the program. Similarly, any drafting that you do from the DocGen database perspective with any of the Maj Court, High Court, conveyancing, transfers, bonds, cancellations, any documents that you merge from any of those modules would also be saved onto the specific Matter. Now, if we look at the direction, you can see that the documents that are already in here have been created by Legal Suite. They are described as outgoing and that they were created in the program to be sent out. Now, you also have the option to bring documents in from outside Legal Suite. So if you've drafted documents, saved them onto your computer, saved them onto your server, these too can be brought in and deposited onto the Matter in Legal Suite. It is effectively a good idea to have pretty much everything that is in your physical file saved into the document log, because this is backed up by your server or backed up by your IT people. So if you were to lose your physical file, you would at least have the records in the document log because you brought them in. Right, so dragging and dropping is a very simple exercise in Legal Suite. The first thing we would need to do is we would need to open up our File Explorer in Windows. So I'm just going to open up my Windows File Explorer. Please do make sure that the screen is smaller than the Legal Suite screen behind so that you can see the content of the document log. Right, so I'm going to go and find a document. I'm going to go to Documents, Legal Suite, and my Documents folder. And in here are various documents that I've either scanned in, created in Excel, created in Word, which I would like to get into the program. Now, please note that you can drag and drop any item that you can open outside of Legal Suite, you can deposit into Legal Suite. It will simply use, on opening, whatever platform it is that you use to open these sorts of documents. For example, I'm going to use this scanned PDF document called Bar One Recipes, and I'm going to drag and drop it into the program. So I hold down my mouse button, I drag the item over, and as long as you can see the little plus signs under the mouse cursor, you can let go. Now, the program will bring up a screen that says importing a document, and it will confirm the file that you're on. It will bring in the date that you're importing the document, and it will give you a description of the document. Now, this document, it's telling me, is 1 page long. That's simply because it was scanned in a continuous feed into my scanner. The program will also tell you where this document is being saved. So effectively, the program will leave the document in its original place, and it will make its own copy in the Legal Suite environment. Now, under category, you have the option to categorize documents. I'm going to leave this as a document for the purposes of this, but if it were correspondence, you could categorize it as correspondence, an account, affidavits, agreements, and so on and so forth. And please note in Legal Suite that anywhere you see a drop-down menu with an ellipse button next to it means that you can add to that list. So this is the list of the categories. Yellow screen, yellow insert. You can insert new and additional categories here. So I'm going to leave it as a document. The direction is incoming and that it's been brought into Legal Suite from the outside. And you also have an option to create a fee for bringing this in. So, for example, if it was a sheriff's return of service, you've scanned it, you're now bringing it into Legal Suite, you have the option to charge a fee for perusing the content of this document. You also have the option to make a file note. This will effectively automatically embed a file note in the file note screen saying that you have imported this document into the document log. And you also have an option to set up a reminder if you want to follow up on the document and so on and so forth. So please do have a look at both our file notes and our reminders webinar. I am going to leave file note and I'm going to leave time recording on. If I say OK, the program will then ask me what type of activity I am undertaking. In this case, I am perusing, and I'll select, and I can then insert the time it took me to peruse, and so on and so forth. But please, again, do have a look at our webinars on time recording for a better understanding of this part of the program. Right, so I click on OK, and the program has now brought into Legal Suite, and as you can see, its direction is incoming from the outside. So you can drag and drop any item that you can open outside of Legal Suite, you can open in Legal Suite. And please do have a look at our next webinar of how to view these kinds of documents that you brought in.